Hi and welcome to GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. Apologies for the headgear, but I'm having a really bad hair day today. So, what am I doing with all this stuff here? Well, I've got the Zoom H1 microphone and I wanted to, well, I was just going to buy a shock mount for it to mount on the top of the camera. But there doesn't seem to be one. Everyone seems to make them. There's lots of what I call Heath Robinson affairs out there, which I didn't look particularly neat or anything, so I decided to make my own, and what I've done is use bits and bobs that I had laying around. I haven't bought anything. I've used a drill to drill one hole, and other than that, this is literally stuff I found. Even the elastic bands were, the postman left them outside the door. So what do you need? Well, a couple of elastic bands, a old lens hood which just had lying around, some sort of mounty things. This is like a flash mount adapter thing that I had. So I bought off eBay and sold, and I've still got the bits. Obviously the Zoom H1. The tripods are optional, but I'll just quickly go through what I did. First of all, got myself a little petal lens hood like this. That's I think that's a Nikon one. I'm not sure where that's from. The one I actually used was a Sigma one because it's a lot more sturdy and a lot more chunky. So all I did was drill a hole in the middle and the bottom. You can see that. And off of this, I just got one of those little sort of screw adapter things. It's there anyway. It's a little screw adapter that you get in like tripod mounts and that, you know, you can buy them for pennies if you haven't got one. I just happened to have one lying around, so I've got that. Okay, then this is a little sort of flash cold shoe adapter thing, and I just screw that on the bottom of there, like so. I just want to get it so it's nice and tight, like so. That's it so far. 2 elastic bands, double them up, and then just pop them. The reason I'm using a petal hood is, as you can see, the shape holds the elastic bands in the right place. I'll just use 2 elastic bands because you don't want to hold it too tightly. And that's that. So I've got my 2 elastic bands, and as you can see, we're already getting to that stage where we're there. Now, on the bottom of my little LED light, I've got this little thing, which I thought was quite useful. Now I'd like to get hold of one of these on their own, but I can take it on and off. So this is the movable bit, and it's just a little, again, a cold shoe adapter. So that pops on there, and just tighten that up so it's nice and secure. And then on the back of my H1, I've got the head off of a Joby little mini Gorilla Pod, and all that does is that's quite handy because it just holds the elastic bands either side of it and it stops it dropping out. So what you do is you get your hole in the middle, stick your finger through it because you want to be inside obviously the elastic bands, so poke your finger through the middle like that, make a hole, poke your zoom through, get your fingers out. So I've got elastic bands in front of and behind that little tripod mount, and that just stops it from falling back or forward because I didn't want it to be able to drop out. And as you can see, that's in there. That's nicely, you can just ease it forward a little bit to balance it nice. There you go. And that's shock mounted. And then obviously that will sit on the hot shoe on the camera. Okay, so here's a Nikon D5100, and we'll just pop that on top. Tighten it up, and there you go. You end up with a nice shotgun style microphone, nicely insulated from the camera. Now, if you was going to buy one, that's the sort of thing you'd buy, but these pick up a hell of a lot of noise from the camera. Now, this isn't completely infallible, and you will still get a certain amount of noise because, you know, at the end of the day, it is touching the camera, even if it is by the elastic bands. But my initial testing has shown that this is a workable option, whereas I find those mics that fit on and are a lot more sturdy. Although they're insulated, they're not as well insulated as this. This is a much better system. and you just don't get as much of the touchy noises and the mechanical noises of the camera. So overall, I'm really impressed with it. The other thing, if I just undo that from there, you can do is obviously mount it on a tripod, because there's a little tripod mount in the bottom of that. Bosh, 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 and you've got a nice, there you go, you've got a nice shotgun mount on a tripod. You know, as setup goes, that's a pretty good setup, because nothing's going to be touching that. That's nice and insulated. I think that is a great little system. I've also got the option of having the Zoom H1 just sitting on my Joby GorillaPod, only my little one. Yeah, cheap as chips, these little ones. And that will just sit on there nicely as well, if I just want it nice and simple. But there you go. That's my cheap, I say cheap, it's cost me absolutely nothing. I've just used bits and bobs that I've had. Version of a shock mounted H1. This has been GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye.